Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brews with Brian, a craft beer review podcast. Craft beer is beer that is brewed in smaller breweries, not these big corporate machine breweries that we're all aware of. Craft beer takes time and patience, and the people that brew this stuff actually care about the product they're delivering to us. On this week's show, I'm reviewing Corner Piece from Prairie Artisan Ales, Don't Call It Hotlanta from Monday Night Brewing, and Westbrook IPA from Westbrook Brewing Company. Now, you can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify, so don't forget to like and share and tell your friends about it. But let's kick this show off. And first up on today's show, we have Corner Piece from Prairie Artisan Ales out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Corner Piece has an ABV of 11%, and it's a one-off, so you better buy it while you can. The description from the website says, Imperial Stout with birthday cake flavor. This beer pours a jet black color with a light tan head that retains around the circumference of the glass. Very little to no lacing at all with this beer. With it being an Imperial Stout, you wouldn't expect a lot of it. The aroma is very sweet. I mean, it literally smells like a freshly baked birthday cake. The taste is very rich, vanilla and malt up front, and a bit of booze near the end. The finish is long and sweet. The mouthfeel is full-bodied and low to medium with carbonation. The booze warms my throat a bit after the first couple of sips, but then after that it doesn't feel as heavy. It's, of course, going to be full-bodied, being an Imperial Stout. But overall, I really enjoy this beer. Prairie Artisan Ales is a smaller brewery that, a lot of people might not know about, especially somebody like me in North Alabama. But they make some good stuff, so if you can find anything, you need to buy it and try it. But overall, I'm going to give Corner Piece from Prairie Artisan Ales 4 stars. And the next beer on this week's show is Don't Call It Hotlanta from Monday Night Brewing out of Atlanta, Georgia. Don't Call It Hotlanta has an ABV of 8.5% and a rotating availability. The description from the website says, take your senses on a trip when you sip on this quadruple dry-hopped IPA. With the unpredictability of Atlanta spring weather, this cloudy double IPA pops with sunny tropical notes on the nose. It drinks dank and finishes with a bit of bitterness, much like an Atlanta sports fan. The beer pours a semi-hazy, pale golden orange color with about a finger and a half of pale head. The bubbles shrink back fairly quickly, leaving a splotchy haze, a modest halo, and some scattered dashes and dots of lacing. Aromas of citrusy hops, melon, tangerine, lemon, berry, and a bit of malt sweetness. The rich hop flavors between the tropical and dank hops are fantastic. Oranges and distant fruitness, melon rind, and a little bit of sugar. The body is medium and oily with understated carbonation. The lingering finish is tropical and dry. This is another fine IPA from Monday Night Brewery. Actually, it's a fine beer from Monday Night. Everything they make is fantastic. So definitely buy Monday Night beer. So you got to try this beer. It's fantastic. Overall, I'm going to give Don't Call It Hotlanta from Monday Night Brewing 4 stars. And the last beer on this week's show is Westbrook IPA from Westbrook Brewing Company out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Westbrook IPA has an ABV of 6.8% and a year-round availability. The description from the website says, a base of pale Munich malts is just enough to contain the massive hop flavor and aroma packed into this highly drinkable IPA. A blend of 4 American hop varieties is added 4 times in the kettle and twice in the fermenter for a complex and layered hop experience. The beer pours hazy golden orange with a pillowy, creamy white head. Near perfection retention and sheets of lacing. Aromas of tons of sweet orange, ripening orange zest, toasted biscuit, a bit of pineapple, and grapefruit pith. Tasting this beer, you get orange flesh and peel, which is bittersweet and zesty. Cantaloupe, pineapple, mango is floating there throughout. Toasty and caramel malts blend with juicy hops for an orange marmalade flavor. Some lingering orange peel bitterness on the finish with just a touch of pine as well. It finishes lightly bitter and fairly clean, but leans a bit more sweet than dry. It's a medium body, smooth and rounded, moderately carbonated, fairly slick and oily on the tongue. It is a solid IPA with great hop flavors. I prefer my IPAs a little bit drier than this one, but it's still a solid beer. Westbrook makes some great stuff. Their Mexican cake is just outstanding. So definitely, if you can find any beer from Westbrook, give it a shot. But overall, I'm going to give Westbrook IPA from Westbrook Brewing Company 4 stars. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Brews with Brian. I want to thank everybody for listening. The show is growing each and every week. So again, thank you for that. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Everybody stayed safe and had fun with their families. On this week's show, I reviewed Corner Piece from Prairie Artisan Ales, Don't Call It Hotlanta from Monday Night Brewing, and Westbrook IPA from Westbrook Brewing Company. You can find the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. So don't forget to like and share and tell your friends. And if they enjoy drinking craft beer, maybe they'll enjoy me talking about it. I want to give a special shout out to Southern Package, my hometown craft beer shop. They're wonderful people and they'll treat you right. So if you live in Northwest Alabama, definitely check them out. But that's going to do it for this week's episode of Brews with Brian, and we'll see you next time.